Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to be talking about night vision. And I'm not talking about the really sweet SEAL Team 6 Delta Ranger night vision that the military uses. It's a completely different technology, and it's also mostly unreachable price-wise for most of us. But today we've got something from SIONYX to look at. It's the Aurora Pro, and it is under $1,000, and it gives you fantastic night vision capabilities without breaking the bank. So stay tuned. For about $1,000, this is what you get. Nice little black carrying case. Inside though, you'll find the Aurora Pro from SIONYX. It's pretty tiny, lightweight, IPX67 rated, so it is actually, can take a fall into the water. What it does differently than the military style night vision is it is basically a CMOS sensor similar to what you'd find in a camera. I mean, it is a camera, instead of using an intensifier tube like the military ones do, which, you know, captures active light, magnifies it 1 billion times, and paints another image of what you're seeing inside the viewfinder. This is actually a camera. This has a very low light sensor, so it's able to magnify what's out there quite a bit on its own. I recently took a trip down to Florida because it is 5 degrees up here right now. It's freezing ass cold. And I went down there and had an opportunity to kind of just use it at night, looking up and down the canal that we rented a house on. And it gave you a pretty good idea of the difference between what the naked eye can see and then what you can see with this in night mode. All right, I'm down in Marco Island, Florida, with my iPhone on video and just trying to give you an idea of what this canal looks like to the naked eye before I show you what it looks like with the SIONYX Aurora Pro. Speaking of night mode, there are 3 different scene settings on here. You have a day, a twilight, and a night. So based on your current situation, you will put it on whatever it is. Like, for instance, it is daytime right now, so I'm gonna leave it on day mode. So when I turn it on, it is basically gonna look just like a camera. You're gonna see what you see as is. When you switch it to twilight mode during the twilight, obviously it amplifies it a little bit, and you can see more like what it would look like during the day at twilight, and then so on and so forth. When you're in night mode, it's in full amplification mode, and it basically magnifies all the available light out there, even on moonless nights. So it uses starlight, it uses ambient light, and just magnifies it to kind of paint a picture. And the nice thing about the SIONYX Aurora line, color. You know, when I was in the military, everything we saw was green from that intensifier too. There's no option for anything other than that. I'm sure, you know, it was in the 90s. I'm sure things have advanced quite a bit since then. But for under $1,000, this is a nice little compact camera that lets you see at night. There are a million different things you can use this for. Hunting, camping, hiking. If you're out on your boat, I have an idea where I could use a ram ball mount this to the front of the boat, and then you can slave it to an iPad via Wi-Fi connection and basically be able to see at night. So when the ice melts and I get back out on the boat this summer, I'm definitely gonna try that. Another idea is I could mount it to the FJ. I could put it on the front bumper, and then also I have an iPad mounted in there that I use for navigation. So I could slave it to that and see at night with no lights on. And I'm just going around a loop on a private drive, so it shouldn't be a problem, but I'm gonna go give it a try here. Here's what we got. Mounted to the front, we've got the SIONYX Aurora Pro. I'm just gonna turn that to Wi-Fi mode. Get this to sync up. Oops. All right. That's that. Let's snowing outside, so I don't know if that's going to affect the camera. Hopefully stuff doesn't stick to the lens, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave the lights off. and roll out here. Now I decided I am going to turn on some my work lights. What that'll do is that'll let other people see me without having my headlights on. So let's cruise into the darkness. It's a weird feeling, I'm not lying. Especially because it's a little bit late. Like there is some lag between the camera and real time. But I mean, the snow doesn't help. I know that. It's making it look really grainy. But if you're just kind of putzing along, like if you're out in the wilderness, you could totally do this. Now this just goes down to a dead end cul-de-sac. There is. And those are just house lights that you can see there. It looks like the sun's coming up. You guys can see that. This is what the naked eye is seeing, and this is what the night vision is seeing. So we're going to come into a lit area here from these house lights. Just kind of go around the cul-de-sac and then basically just kind of head back home. Really doesn't offer a very wide view because I'd like to see a little more to the left here as I go around this cul-de-sac. But it's working. Hopefully my neighbors don't call the police here, but all right, again, there's the view. And there's the actual view. So I'm actually I guess I should mount this. Whoa. I should mount this right in front of me instead of off to my right. It'd be a little easier to drive because I'm driving with my head turned. Now it's a little awkward. One of the other things I'd like to use this for is on our boat in the summer. Coming back from dinner late at night, it'd be kind of cool to have it mounted to the boat and just be able to find your way back to your house and get to the dock a little easier. See how it kind of lagged there? That's our house on the left. Alright, well, I'd say it kind of worked. Got to go really slow. The snow kind of complicated things a little bit there, but for the most part, I don't know, I'd say the experiment kind of worked. Again, I don't recommend doing this. I do not recommend driving on public roads at night with no lights on. So don't go out and do that. Just it's more of a demonstration than anything else. It is a camera, so it has, the Aurora Pro has 256 megabytes of onboard storage, and it also has the ability to add an SD card, a mini SD card right in there. This is also where the battery is located. So the whole viewfinder just kind of pops off to access that. Over here you have your mode dial. So you can be off, moves on to camera there, video, loop, playback, and then Wi-Fi and settings. On top, basically everything's done through the menu screen. So as you're looking through here, let me put that back on day. As you're looking through here, when you get to the setup menu, you're going to use these left, right, up, down arrows, as well as the set button on top to move the cursor around and select things when you're setting the date and time. This is the record button on here, and it records just like any other camera. So when you're at night, it's just going to record what it sees at night. It also has a microphone, so you can pick up ambient noises, or you can talk over your video. And there's a manual focusing ring on the front. I usually just set it to infinity, but if you're doing some close-up work, you have the ability to dial that in and get a nice crisp picture. Another nice feature, inside the viewfinder as you're looking at it, you can see quite a bit of information in here. You can see how much recording time you have, what mode you're in, what time it is, what direction you're pointing. There's actually a compass because this has a built-in GPS. So as you're rotating around, it'll actually show you the direction. So that could be nice when you're on a boat, or if you mount it to the vehicle. It gives you the lat long for your location up in the upper right corner. It also has, you can change the exposure, frames per second, resolution. It does only go up to 720p at 60 frames per second. So, it's not going to be super HD, but, it is night vision. So you're getting what you get. There's another, like I said, there's a Wi-Fi connection. So you can connect it to your phone. You can let other people see what you're seeing. I think one of the modes I'm going to use it in is with the boat, and then have this mounted right above my chart plotter. So as I'm driving on the lake at night, I'll be able to see everything that I would normally see during the day. On the back end here, there's a little sensor on the bottom of the eyepiece. So as you move it away from yourself, it basically shuts off the screen inside. And then as you bring it up, it recognizes that you're looking at it and it turns it back on. Also, there's a plus and minus, I think it's called a diopter adjustment here. So if you need corrective vision, like I actually wear glasses, it was nice to kind of come through in here and fine tune that so you can actually see nice and clear. So that's the SIONYX Aurora Pro. They have two other models, the black and the sport, for a few $100 less, but this is the top of the line deal. And over the next few months, I'm going to be messing with this quite a bit. I'm probably going to bring it on a trip to the Dominican here in a couple weeks. I also would like to find a way to mount it to my bump helmet. So if anybody out there knows the best way to do that for the SIONYX Aurora, let me know in the comments. A few of the items that come in the box are, of course, the Aurora Pro. You've got the charging cable, an extra battery. This particular model comes with 2 batteries, and it comes with a 32 gigabyte micro SD card. Another nice option that SIONYX offers is an infrared illuminator. So invisible to the naked eye. But when you turn this on at night, it definitely illuminates this stuff right in front of you. Even when you walk into, say, a room with no visible light, like I tried it in our bathroom at night. You walk in and it really is very grainy because there's no available light to magnify. But as soon as you turn this on, it's like having a massive flashlight. So it illuminates everything invisibly, but visible through the Aurora Pro. So that's a nice feature. I'll also show you what that looks like out in the backyard, so you can compare what it sees with ambient light as well as what it sees with this IR illuminator. That's my quick recap of the Aurora Pro from SIONYX. Take a look at their website to see all the models and specs. Also, in the written review that we have on the Gear Bunker at thegearbunker.com, you'll have links to the website as well as all the specifications of the different Aurora models. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and you'll be notified anytime more content like this gets put out. We appreciate you supporting this all-veteran gear review site, and we'll see you on the next review.